Governor Pawlenty of Minnesota standing by to talk to us a little bit about what's happening in Minnesota. Governor, how are you?
I'm doing well, Sean. Thanks for having me back.
Well, we appreciate you. First of all, I'm very concerned at what's unfolding in Minnesota, and that is that every day there seems to be a change in the numbers without even having a recount, and every day it benefits Al Franken and not Norm Coleman. Why is that?
Well, we have some concerns. There's a process of kind of cleaning up the count before the actual recount starts, and that's customary and traditional. However, it seems like some of the changes, and most of the changes that have occurred, favor Al Franken and not Norm Coleman. And there's a couple of particular concerning incidents, Sean, where we have an election official who has some ballots in his car. We're looking for an explanation as to why.
By the way, 32 ballots show up in the back of an election official's car. By the way, is that guy a Democrat too?
Well, we don't know that. And then also, in the areas where the big changes occurred, it's about a 50-50 race. So you'd think if there are changes, there'd be some proportion to the changes going towards Norm or going towards Al Franken. But in these cases, they're overwhelmingly in favor of Al Franken. Even if you're in a big Democratic area, you'd still think Norm would get, 30-40% of the benefit. That hasn't been happening. So those are concerns that we're going to look into and certainly make sure this is a transparent process.
Well, one of the things I've read that I'm concerned about is there's different standards. I guess you have 4,130. There's different standards for protecting the ballots. Is that true?
Well, there is an expectation that these ballots be secured, but what that means is left up to the local officials and their good judgment. So the standards have varied a little bit. That's why we've been pressing, the Norm's folks have been pressing, to have a common standard, but either by a court or by agreement. So far that hasn't been reached, but one of the courts locally came up with some very good standards, and we're trying to make sure all the counties follow that, either through a court order or by agreement.